Have you ever walked away from a conversation, feeling drained, confused, even guilty, and you didn't know why? That's not just conflict. That's manipulation, and it's more common than you think in a world full of toxic people. Gaslighters, guilt trippers, emotional hijackers. How do you protect your peace without losing your soul? The answer isn't rage. It's not revenge. It's Stoicism, a timeless, unshakable philosophy that doesn't just protect you, it transforms you. Not everyone in your life is meant to stay. Not every voice you hear is worth listening to. Not every opinion you receive is worth carrying. But many men today are walking around emotionally injured, mentally drained, spiritually confused, because they've allowed toxic people to live rent-free in their minds. They've handed over control of their peace to those who never deserved access in the first place. This is where Stoicism becomes more than a philosophy. It becomes your self-defense, not with walls of coldness, but with boundaries built on wisdom. You can't always remove toxic people from your environment immediately. Sometimes they're at work, sometimes they're in your family, sometimes they're in your past, but still living inside your thoughts. The goal isn't always distance. The goal is detachment, to learn to see clearly without becoming emotionally entangled, to recognize manipulation without reacting to it, to remain calm when others try to provoke chaos. That's the Stoic advantage. Stoicism trains you to separate what's in your control from what isn't. You can't control how someone treats you, but you can control how you interpret their behavior. You can't control their words, but you can choose your response. You can't stop people from being who they are, but you can stop giving them power over your peace. A toxic person thrives on control. They manipulate through guilt, confusion, drama, and emotional highs and lows. They want your attention because it gives them energy. But when you respond with a stoic neutrality, they lose that power. When you stop playing the game ends. That doesn't mean you don't feel anger or frustration. It means you don't express it in ways that cost you more than the moment. It means you learn the discipline of emotional conservation. You protect your energy like it's sacred, because it is. You only have so much bandwidth in a day. Every reaction costs you time, focus, presence. Stoicism gives you a way to stop bleeding energy on things that don't matter. Imagine this. Someone insults you. In public, your ego flares, your body tenses. You want to strike back to prove something. But what are you proving? That they got to you? That your emotional state is theirs to control? The Stoic pauses. He breathes. He evaluates. He chooses a response rooted in principle, not in pressure. Sometimes that means silence. Sometimes it means a boundary, but it never means abandoning your peace. This kind of self-mastery is rare. That's why it's powerful. Most people are controlled by their triggers. They hear a certain tone, see a certain name pop up, and they lose their composure. But when you train like a Stoic, you become untriggerable, not because you suppress emotions, but because you understand them. You see them arise, you acknowledge them, but you are not them. You choose from a higher place. This applies to every toxic interaction. Gaslighting, guilt-tripping, passive aggression, emotional blackmail. All of it loses power when you stop engaging on their level. The Stoic doesn't lower himself. He elevates the space he's in, not through dominance, but through presence, through calm, through clarity. And clarity is the antidote to manipulation. When you know who you are, no one can tell you who you're not. When you're grounded in your values, No one can confuse your vision. When you've practiced emotional discipline, no one can hijack your state. Toxic people rely on your confusion. They thrive when you doubt yourself. The more certain you are internally, the less they can shake you externally. So what does this look like in real life? It looks like walking away without explaining yourself, saying no without guilt, holding a boundary without anger, letting someone misunderstand you without chasing their approval, detaching without resentment, observing without absorbing. That's Stoicism, applied, and over time, the people who once triggered you start to fade, not always from your life, but from your nervous system, from your priority list, from your inner world, because you've reclaimed ownership of your attention. You've raised the cost of access to your mind. You've made your peace non-negotiable. This doesn't make you cold. It makes you clear. You still feel, you still care, but your care is selective. Your empathy is directed. Your compassion is guided by wisdom, not by guilt. You stop trying to save people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You stop explaining yourself to those who are only listening to respond. You stop wasting breath on conversations that go nowhere. And this is where your power returns. Because now, instead of defending your worth, you're living it. Instead of proving your value, you're embodying it. Instead of reacting to the noise, you're rooted in your signal. Toxic people will test this. They'll notice the shift. They'll push harder at first. They'll escalate. Because what used to work no longer works. But hold your ground. Don't match their chaos. Don't meet their energy. Stay calm. Stay steady. Let them exhaust themselves while you rise. Over time, they will either change their approach or remove themselves. Either way, you win, because you never left your peace to win an argument. You never sacrificed your clarity to meet someone in their confusion. You never gave up your center to chase validation. That's the Stoic defense. Not armor that hardens you, but clarity that strengthens you. Boundaries that protect you. Wisdom that frees you. It's a mindset, a lifestyle, a decision made daily to lead yourself, even when others try to pull you off course. So the next time someone tries to bait you into a fight, remember this: you don't need to prove yourself. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to react. All you need to do is return to yourself. Breathe, observe, choose. Your peace is yours. Your attention is yours. Your energy is yours. Guard it with clarity. Protect it with discipline. Live it with pride. Because a Stoic doesn't fight for control. He embodies it. And that, more than anything, is what separates the free man from the enslaved one. This isn't just theory. It's your new reality, if you choose it. The power to stay calm in chaos. The strength to walk away without guilt. The clarity to say no without explaining. You don't fight toxic people by becoming colder. You fight them by becoming clearer. And if that's the kind of man you're becoming, subscribe to Stoic Reign, where we train emotional warriors every day, not with anger, not with ego, but with philosophy that lasts, with peace that no one can steal. Your growth starts now. Own it, live it, and never hand your power to the undeserving again.